It appears that Capital One began sending out emails late in the evening on January 16th of 2025. I personally received this email around 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I have to say this email tells me a whole lot of nothing, but I'll show you what it says. The email starts off with explaining that as of January 15th, they began experiencing issues with deposits and transfers, and this all is due to a technical issue from one of its service providers. So my first question is, if the issue began on January 15th, why did it take more than 24 hours to send this email communication out to your customers? That right there is already bad business. The email then goes on to say that they're obviously working to get this issue quickly resolved and that the majority of the issues should be resolved by Friday morning, which would have been today, January 17th. And right now it's around 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as far as I know, this issue is not even close to being resolved. People are still missing their direct deposits. They're unable to make transfers in or out of their Capital One account. And for some people, they are also unable to use their debit cards. It also appears that this outage is not only impacting consumer accounts, it's also impacting business accounts as well. So any employers who are using their Capital One accounts to process and pay out their payroll, they have been unable to pay their employees as well. And to make matters worse, we are going into a 3-day holiday weekend here in the United States. So most banks have limited business hours on Saturdays. They are closed on Sundays, and they will be closed on Monday, January 20th, in observance of the Dr. Martin Luther King federal holiday. I do hope that Capital One does resolve this issue before end of business today. It would be horrible to have all of these customers go into the holiday weekend without the money they need to pay their bills and take care of their responsibilities. And to add insult to injury, while deposits and transfers are not being processed, you know what is still being processed? Bill payments. Customers are still seeing automatic bill payments come out of their accounts. At this point, they need to put a freeze on all activity of these accounts until they can get this issue resolved. Now, part of me is wondering if Capital One is delaying fixing this issue on purpose because they are afraid of a bank run happening once all of these deposits begin to clear. And here's what I mean. A bank run is when a large amount of customers withdraw money from a bank, and if the bank does not have enough cash to meet the responsibilities of all of these withdrawals, the bank essentially fails. I am wondering if Capital One is scrambling, trying to prepare for what may be ahead in the event that a bank run does in fact actually happen.